What's going on, guys? Snag here, and it's time to wrap up round 7 of the 2024 NRL season. Just before we get to that though, guys, just want to thank each and every one of you that has subbed already. Felt like it was 2 weeks ago. I was thanking you all for getting us to 4,000 subs, and now we're closing in on 5,000 already, and we've smashed over 500,000 views now as well. And also, guys, competition. I was giving away some of the shirts we were getting printed up, and I did get a few, lads, and I'm giving one to here as the Entity ×9. I have one left. I had 6. They were just samples. I just had 6. 3 New South Wales, 3 Queensland. I don't know if you can see these, lads, but they come up good. They come up good. So this is coming your way, lad. I'll send that out to you, and I will knock up the website. I'll probably build that out this week, and I should have everything live in about a week or so, guys. So thanks so much, guys. I really appreciate it. And thanks to everyone that entered too. Heaps of you guys entered, man. So you're legends. We'll do heaps more giveaways. And like I said, all the money raised from these shirts will go back to grassroots footy and to you guys as prizes, giveaways, all that sort of stuff, lads. So not interested in making money myself. It's all going back to the rugby league community, lads. All right, let's get into the games. But first, oh yeah, it's been a big day, lad. I needed that. Oh, Storm get home against the Roosters. Roosters are in trouble. Dragons upset the Warriors. Dolphins hump the Eels. Penrith get it done against the West Tigers. Manly sneak home against the Titans. Broncos defeat the Raiders 34-10. Doggies get it done against the Knights. We hit everything this today. I'll explain when we get to those games, but it was awesome. 36-12, and Sharkies absolutely clapped the Cowboys' cheeks. That was bad. Really, really bad, but really, really good for the Sharkies. I didn't think the Cowboys were awful, but anyway, absolutely crazy, guys. Let us know how many you hit this weekend as well, guys. We had a bit of a stinker, to be honest. We ended up on the punt. Like, we killed it. Well, not killed it. We somehow ended up on the punt for the weekend because we had some horrible losses. We had a punt where I didn't hit a leg out of 4, and there was a few stinkers, but we ended up for the day. So we missed this one, missed this one, missed this one. So it was off to a shaky start. Then we got everything else right. So we ended up 5 from 8. So could have been worse. 0 from 3 to start. We hit everything to finish. So let's have a look at the ladder, guys. Ooh. All right, so Sharkies up on top. Best for and against. Absolutely killing it. Said it before. I think we've been sleeping on the old Sharkies, man. I think we've been sleeping on the old Sharkies. I think we thought it was going to be same old Sharkies in and around the top 8 there. Not be able to beat top 4 teams or top 8 teams, but they look good, man. They look good. They beat the Cowboys. They're still in top 8, even after that loss. Dolphins back up into 3rd. Melbourne and Penrith Panthers make up the top 4. Broncos shoot up into the top 8. Seagulls as well. Raiders drop down, but still in the 8. Cowboys drop down, but still in the 8. And Dragons, look at that. Sniffing around 9th. Sniffing around 9th. And the Warriors drop out. Bulldogs move up into 12th. And Parramatta and West Tigers free falling. West Tigers, Eels and Knights are all in big trouble. So are the Roosters, I think. They've got to turn it around real quick. Real quick. But yeah, not looking good. All right, Roosters Storm. All right, initial thoughts on this one, guys. Oh, it's so hard. This is the thing. I've never been a Teddy basher, and I love him. I wasn't one of these people that was bagging him last year, but they are so much better with Joey at fullback. They're so much better with Joey at fullback. Whatever the game they're trying to play now doesn't work for the way Teddy's playing. He's not efficient enough at breaking tackles, and there's looking dangerous and there's being dangerous. Like I said, the first few years of Kalen Ponga's career, I thought he looked way more dangerous than he actually was. He sort of looks like he's going to do something and then nothing actually happens. And then the last year and a half, 2 years, he's been a dangerous player, a genuinely dangerous player sort of thing. And that's why, Newcastle went on that crazy run. That's the only reason they've looked remotely sharp this year is when Kalen's on, sort of thing. So, yeah, it was Joey's genuinely dangerous every time he gets the ball. I mean, not like he makes a line break every time, but he looks dangerous every time he gets the ball. I had Jerome Hughes as my man of the match for this one. He's such a good half. But, I mean, we switched to this game, and Joey, I know he got a lot more involved in the second half, but first half, 4 or 5 touches, not good enough. And yeah, it was just... This is the thing. Munster went to the sin bin, right? It's a little bit weird. So when... To me, you guys let me know what you think too. It almost looks like Roosters have too many players on the field sometimes. Like, they get in the way. Like, they did a... I can't remember who took the hit up, but someone took a hit up, got a really nice quick play of the ball. They shifted out wide. And not only wasn't there a overlap, there was actually numbers on the defensive side. Like, they had an underlap. I'm like, how does that happen? Like, if you draw 4 players into a tackle and get a quick play of the ball, there has to be numbers somewhere. But it's just... I don't know. And it just seems so cluttered. Too many chefs ruin the broth. It just doesn't look right. Like, they don't look horrendous. Like, they could beat any team on their day. But we're not here. They're not here to beat any team on the day. They're here to win a premiership, and they are way off being a premiership team. They just... The amount of times they shifted, and yeah, like I said, not only was there not an overlap, there was an underlap. Like, they were completely outnumbered on the edge. You're just sitting there going, what the hell is going on here? You know, and you look at their edges and they're great, but if you shift out to, you know, Joey and Tupou or whatever on either edge, and you there's 2 of you and 4 of the defense, like, it doesn't matter how good you are, you know what I mean? It's not happening. So yeah, it's just too many. Like, even when Munster went off, so there's 12 men, they still couldn't create overlaps. That's pretty bad, man. Like, they didn't look like scoring in that period. So it was sort of like, yeah, it was terrible. I mean, Robbo was complaining about the refs, and fair cop, but win or lose, they didn't look good. Like, let's say they did scrape home and win this one, I still wasn't that impressed. Yeah. Onto the Storm. Look, they look good, man. Like, they're just... The Storm... People keep going, oh, they're not blowing teams away. So, Sharkies literally won a premiership with a winning margin of 4 points a game. Average winning margin of 4.5 points a game. Like, it can be done. It's just, you'd love to be blowing teams off the park like Broncos are and Sharkies are, but a win's a win, man. Doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. But yeah, it was a bit of a, you know, like I said, it's easy just to sort of fob over it, but they're winning. Paps looks okay. Paps is good. I was actually really impressed with Remy and Nick Meaney. I sort of feel like they're a bit of a weakness in this team, but not weakness, but like, you know what I mean. You can't be full strength everywhere. Like, you're not a state of origin team, so like, you have to have a weak point somewhere. But I thought they were actually pretty nice. Munster did nothing, but I don't know. He doesn't look 100%, but he's just so dangerous. You know, Nelson had an okay comeback, nothing crazy. Qatar and Bloor looked great. They looked really, really nice. Christian Welch came on and gave him some good minutes too. So, yeah, it's just, I don't know. Like, this is what I was talking. Like Teddy, like, these numbers are good, man. Like, any other fullback does it. 176 metres, 54 post contact, 6 tackle breaks. Yeah, he didn't fill up the box score, but it's still good. Like, it's good, but it just doesn't work for this team. It's just, I was all for giving Teddy, you know, the full reins, and obviously deserved another crack at this, and they're not going to take it off him. So I'm speaking in vain here, but I think if Roosters want to win this year, I don't think they're going to do it with Teddy. I just really don't. Lindsay Collins was enormous. His kick chase for a front row was just incredible. Who else was good? I mean, Joey was good in the second half. Tupou and not the outside backs didn't get a whole heap of things. I thought Radley was incredible. I thought he was really nice. Nafua White was actually really good as well. He actually outshone Tyrrell May off the bench. So, yeah, pretty solid. Pretty damn solid. All right, let's have a look at the stats, guys. So, completed better, but just couldn't do anything with it. Could not crack the line. I didn't even know they got a line break. I thought they had 0 line breaks, but apparently they got 1. Like, the stats aren't like this. It's not like they got really dominated anywhere. They've got more tackle breaks for the Storm, but play the ball speed about the same. Offloads 11 to 8. It's not much else here, you know. Missed tackles was a bit high, obviously. And then errors were the same. It was just, they had their opportunities, man. They had their opportunities. Just couldn't get it done. But yeah, Roosters, serious look at themselves. Who are they playing next week? Oh, the Dragons. Where is that? Oh, we'll have a look at the end. We'll have a look at who's the quick preview of next week's games at the end of the video. That's not a lock. That's not a lock. If Dragons get them, they're in big trouble. Dragons Warriors, the upset of the round. Man, they were good. They were good. I'm sorry, just let me pull this up. Man of the match for me was Lomax. Yeah, Warriors first set. When this game started, I'm going, Warriors are going to trounce them. They power ran 70 metres in their first set. Like they looked really, really nice. This is my problem I have with the Warriors, man, and I love them. They're doing great. Like, they're doing fine. Like, where are they sitting? They're sitting 10th, man. They're fine. But I just feel like a lot of the times there was this last week as well, and I heard Brandy say it in the commentary, and I love he reads my mind a lot of the time. Well, he says what I'm looking at a lot of the time, and he said last week and this week, and I felt exactly the same way. They were just one pass away. Like, they've just, because they haven't put teams away, it's just like they've just been one pass away from tearing teams apart a lot of the time, but they don't throw it because they're trying. It's almost like they're trying to be a little too conservative, a little less Warriors than we've seen over the past 2 decades. But sometimes you just got to let that thing rip. Like, sometimes we're a better team. We're back out of, like, look at the Broncos, and I'm not saying play like the Broncos. Well, to me, okay, so Warriors are a little bit of a hybrid of Penrith and the Broncos, right? A little bit. I see similarities, like nothing crazy. Payne Haas, AFB, Tohu, you get what I'm saying. Like, they're a little bit of a hybrid of the two. Penrith are almost too conservative, but they're so good defensively. They just back, their defense will get them home most of the time. Broncos are big, strong, athletic, and will throw that silly pass or throw that extra pass without hesitation, back their defense to back it up and just go, cool, we'll make 2 or 3 errors, but we're going to get you 4 or 5 times. So we'll make 2 or 3 dumb errors, but we're going to score 4 or 5 times off a similar play. I think Warriors just need to find that middle ground. I don't think they can go full Penrith because as good as they are, they don't have this same... They're not quite as talented as Penrith. Very close, not too far off at all, but... I think if they're just slightly more expansive, C&K throws that extra pass. DWZ, I wouldn't call him wide open, but he had space on the outside about 3 or 4 times in that first half. Have you seen Dallin? Someone just showed Webster that Dallin's highlight reel from last year. Throw it, bro. Dallin will probably score that. Like, he's top 2 or 3 finish in the comp. You don't have to throw it every time, but there was about 4 times in the first half. Either C&K took the tackle or they went short to Berry. 2 of those have to go out the back to Dallin. Don't have to do it every time, but if there's 4 or 5 opportunities, 2 have to go to Dallin. You're in an attacking zone. If you throw it over the sideline, okay, we turn the ball over on the 15-metre line, whatever. So I just think they need to be a little bit more attacking mindset, and I think they'll be just fine. Like, they're tinkering with stuff still, but yeah, it was. I just felt like they didn't take their opportunities, and Dragons did, sort of thing. All right, Zach Lomax, bro. Is he top 5 in the comp at the moment? I reckon he's. So, in previous years, he would be out and out the best winger / centre in the comp at the moment, but some have just been absolutely murdering it, like Coates and stuff like that. But he is right up there. He is genuinely a threat every time you kick the ball. Like, he's crazy, man. Like, he is absolutely crazy. I was blown away, man. Like, he iced this for him, and he's incredible, man. He might end up the best outside back in the comp, and it won't be close. Like, he's a beast, man. He's an absolute beast. His work rate, everything is absolutely crazy. Zach Lomax, most run meters for St George. C&K absolutely lit it up, man, as far as kick meters go. But yeah, I thought Dragons did a really good job of limiting. So they couldn't limit. You can't limit everyone. C&Z got his, but Montoya and I felt like Montoya, Roger, Berry and Dallin didn't really fill up the meters. I thought they did a really good job of sort of handling those guys. and on the meters front, we'll just double check that's okay. Yeah, see, these numbers are fine. 103 for Darwin is pretty low for him. 142 for Rogers. It's solid, but it's not off the charts. Like the Warriors can put holes through you. So I thought the St George, like, they ran hard, they tackled hard. I thought Dabble came on, was a beast. Like, Darwin Sloan looked good. Ravalawa had his best game. Ben Hunt was average, but, he's still got the job done. Sewer had his best game. I thought Tom Eisenhuth was good. But, yeah, it was just... Dabble came on and was just beast mode. So was Murdoch Masilla. I thought he was great as well. But, yeah, just really... I said this before about the Dragons. Like, I don't think they'll make the 8 or anything like that. I mean, they're sitting ninth. They absolutely could, but... You don't want to play them this year, bro. Like last year, you'd see them and you'd be like, "Ah, yeah, easy win." Whoever your team was. If you're a top 8 team and you're coming up against the Dragons, you're like, "We'll get this one." This year, they could not only could they beat you, they could damage your for and against pretty heavily. I mean, 18 Warriors lost 18 points off their for and against, and we know that can really a good for and against can have you finishing in the top 4 or not in the top 4, or in the 8 or not in the top 8. So, yeah, Dragons look scary. They obviously just need to fix up their the consistency a little bit. But, yeah, they're great. And I thought Selle was pretty good. Jacob Little was great too. Francis Molo's first 10 minutes was brilliant. He sort of faded off a little bit, but solid. Let's have a look at the stats here, guys. All right, possession. Warriors had it. They had more possession. That's crazy. They had more time in possession. Just not great with the ball. Only completing at 78%. I mean, they got outrun by the Dragons. 5 line breaks to 3. Dragons win that too. Average set distance was pretty damn solid from the Warriors. I was pretty impressed with that. And their play the ball speed was damn quick too. Really, really quick. Thought the Dragons could have laid on them a little bit longer, to be honest. Offload 7. I mean, 7's okay, but I felt like, especially when the game got a little bit away from them, like they're winning the contact a lot as well. So, I think they need to just throw it around a little bit. But I don't think it was an offload game. I thought it was when they were sweeping out the back. I just thought they went short way too much. They hit Ford, they hit Berry. Give DWZ a shot, man. If you can just most time you need a full overlap for a try to possibly happen. DWZ just doesn't even need an overlap. He just needs to be slightly outside his player, which he was every single time. They didn't let it rip, sort of thing. So, errors 9 to 8. But yeah, not bad from the Warriors. They'll be fine. I mean, they weren't at home, and they're not too far. I mean, they weren't that far off the pace here. But just like I said, it was just a little too conservative. So they got Titans next week. That could get ugly. That could get ugly real quick. Real quick. All right, on to the Parramatta Eels and the Dolphins. This is a weird one. Man of the match, Jeremy Marshall-King for me. He absolutely ripped Parramatta apart. All right. Pretty similar to the Warriors. They had all the field position first sort of 30 minutes. Scored the first 2 tries of the game. Looking pretty comfortable. I sort of thought, I was like, well, Parramatta should win this. It was 32 degrees and 100% humidity. I'm sort of sitting there going, man, Dolphins must be running on empty. And no, Parramatta ran out of gas quick. It was absolutely crazy. It's funny, some people think, oh man, you've had to defend your line for so long, you must be gassed. But it takes gas running an offense too. Like, people forget that, eh? Like, sometimes it can be sort of easier because you're not having to run back 10. You're not getting pumped through the middle, getting kicked, turned around. You know what I mean? Say the ball's just in play and you're playing kick tennis, like field position battle. You know, kicking early, you got to run back, blah, blah, blah. You're only having to retreat 3 or 4 metres. Ball doesn't come out your way. You take a few steps forward and take a few steps back. You can get a good couple minutes rest sometimes defending your own line if they don't attack your side too much. But Parramatta were just so bad. Like, Brad Arthur came out and absolutely sprayed them after the game. Said they looked like... It was funny, I was trying to think, because I obviously write down a few notes about what I'm going to say. in these videos, and I was trying to think what's sort of wrong with Parramatta. Like they look okay at times, and then they fall well. And he came out and said that part-time footy team. They look like a part. I was like, that's exactly what it looked like. If you actually watch, because obviously Cup's pretty much part-time, like most of those guys have jobs, and there's only usually a few handful of guys in each team that are genuine NRL standard, and that's it. The first 40 minutes looked like a Cup game. There was no line speed, there was no effort to get to marker. There was, from both teams to be honest, but Parramatta were worse. Just guys, like hanging off on a tackle instead of fighting to get to their feet and get in at second marker, and just dialing it in, and really bad. I mean, look at these tries. Look at these tries, lad. Absolute thumping in the second half. I had unders for this, and 10 minutes into the second half, I was like, there is no chance this is not hitting. Yeah, right. All right, so... All right, so just a couple of things. I love Brad Arthur as a coach, but he does make big mistakes sometimes, and big mistakes that like amateurs like us can like pick up on. And one for me was Dill Brown is so much better on the left. Like, to me, have that young kid, is it Sanders in the Q Cup? So look at what Penrith have done so successfully after the past 4 years. Penrith Panthers have gone 3 to 6 week stretches without Nathan Cleary throughout a season and have a very good record. Because what they do is, instead of doing all these crazy reshuffles, like we see, say Roosters will go out at number 6, so they put Joey Manu in there or whatever, or whatever. They put their best player in that half position and blah, blah, blah. Penrith don't really do that. They just, even sometimes when a starting front rower goes out, rather than bring in Spencer Leniu in, they'll bring up a guy from Cup, put him in, and because everyone has a plan and a job. And for example, in that team, Spencer Leniu his job wasn't to be a starting front rower. His job was to bring impact off the bench. So obviously, if you put him in the starting team, you're not getting the impact off the bench from him. And then obviously when the halves, like you have a backup half. So Ethers and Sanders, I think that's his name. Sanders he played under 19s for Australia and stuff. He's really good. He's put Blaze in there. He's put Dijon Arcee in there. And Dijon was pretty good the week before, but they're both more sixes. I mean, you put in him, is he going to be Moses? No, but at least it leaves your left edge the same. And Dylan Brown doesn't look right on the right edge. The second he went over to the left edge when Dijon Arcee went off, he scored a try. So to me, Brad's just got to take that sort of bit more of I'm telling everyone to take a Penrith mindset. No, I'm not. I told Pete the Warriors to take a Broncos mindset. Just... your team's your team, and if you lose a player, it's next man up. We hear Penrith say that all the time, next man up. You don't mess with the dynamic of your team just because maybe so-and-so might be a better player, but he's playing out of position. It doesn't make sense. So pretty much you lost Moses and also lost Dylan Brown because Dylan Brown's playing out of position. Yeah, I don't like it at all. I don't like what he did, man. I don't like that at all. But anyway, I think he should have chucked Ethan Sanders in there. Win or lose or draw, whatever, at least the rest of your team dynamic's the same. So anyway, so Ethan Sanders obviously a genuine number 7. Mitchell Moses is the genuine number 7. He comes out, all right, you lose a little bit in that position, but at least the rest of your team's sweet. And that's sort of my thoughts. On the Dolphins, who was that kid, man? Fuller? Jesus Christ, he's a gun. Talking about Q Cup players that are genuine first graders. Jesus Christ, he's a goer. Jeremy Marshall King was brilliant. I didn't think anyone was that good. They just did their jobs, hung in there, hung around, and then when Parramatta got tired, they just destroyed them. And yeah, it was great to watch, man. It was Dolphins. They're for real, man. Where are they sitting again? They're up in 3rd. They're probably going to make the 8th this year, man. Like, they got players to come back. They're looking real nice. Like, I think they got Herbie and Fleggs back in the next week or two. Yeah, they could. They don't get Gilbert back, unfortunately, but still got a lot of talent to come back. And this Katoa kid, man, I'm telling you, he might be the next one. He might be the next one. He might be the next gun half with, He just signed a pretty long contract. I think it was $2 million over 4 years, which is massive unders for what I think he's going to be worth in 2 or 3 years. Because he's what? I'm sure because he's signed for 4 years, I can't really say he's the next $1 million halfback, but his next contract, if he keeps this trajectory of the way he's growing up, he will be on well over $1 million in his next contract. Jesus Christ, he's good. Jeremy Marshall-King was great too. Like I said, he was my man of the match. He wasn't. His first half wasn't great, but at the second that Parramatta started losing the ruck, he just shredded them apart, and that's what a good number 9 does. So shout out to the Dolphs. Parramatta, sort your rubbish out. You'd be praying Mitch Moses is back in the next few weeks, because, and this is the thing, and this is why I'm really worried about Parramatta. Like, a good team, when they lose their best player, yeah, okay, they're not as good, but they're still okay. They can hold down the fort. I mean, Broncos, I think they're 2-2 without Payne and Reynolds or something like that, roughly, you know what I mean? You held down the fort. Parramatta are just getting, like, I know they've won, I think they're 1-3 without Moses, but 2 of those 3, they got absolutely spanked by 40. So, yeah, they've got to sort that out real quick. Real quick. We'll have a quick look at some team stats here. This should be ugly. I mean, Parramatta were almost running for 2 kilometres a game last year. Even when they lost games, they were still winning the middle. Absolutely pumped through here. Beaten in the post-contact. 9 line breaks to 5. 26 tackle busts to 31. Average set distance 41 to 38. What was the... Yeah, so they ended up with more time in possession, because this would have been absolutely flipped in the first half. So ended up evening out a bit. And 86%. 31 missed tackles. Only 31, but they had so much ball in the first half. So most of those 31 missed tackles would have been in the second half. All of a sudden, that number doesn't look so good. 31 in a full game, if it's even possession, all that's probably not too bad. But 7 errors. Dolphins made plenty in the first half, but yeah, just not good enough. And the thing that's... what was the other thing I was going to say it's worrying about? So Eels, to me, like, Eels got a bum rap last year. I actually thought they were pretty good. Like, out of the teams that just missed the 8, I thought they were the best. Like, for example, Parramatta didn't lose a game 13 plus till about round 21. Round 22 maybe. It was right at the end of the year. They fell away a little bit. But they were actually in and around games for a really long time. The games they lost, they were losing by 6, they were losing by 4. They've been blown out by 40 twice this year already. Not good, man. Not good. So they definitely look worse than they did last year. That's for damn sure. And, yeah, Dillbags. Dillbags. Panthers. The score's a little flatter in here. These are the types of shirts I'll be doing as well, guys. Like, obviously not soccer, but, like, you know what I mean? Like, player ones. Like, you know, I'd probably do a Cleary one and a... You know, just the main players, Ponga and Walsh and all those sort of guys. So I do dope shirts like this as well, man. I think that looks sick. That Panthers one's dope. Now, this scoreline doesn't reflect how close this game was. So 2 tries to Taruva. Alamotti had a run, got one, and Fisher Harris got one as well. Now, just on this, right? So any other team wins like this, except for maybe the Broncos. Like, let's say, I'm trying to think of a team. Let's say the Bulldogs. You know, they looked okay, but let's say the Bulldogs beat the West Tigers 22-6. You know what I mean? The way they won it exactly the way. Just put Bulldogs jerseys on it. You'd actually be like, oh, nice win. Like, really solid win. They look good. They controlled the game. They never did ever look like losing the game. You know, it was in the balance a bit, but you know what I mean. Like, it was a solid win. You know, you'd be giving the Bulldogs raps. No, I'm not dissing the Bulldogs either. I just picked a lower team. But Panthers for me just looked really slow. Now, this could be an optical illusion. When I'm watching footy games at home, I hate Suburban because the camera angle's lower and you don't get a full, like, you know, when they're in stadiums, the camera angle's a lot higher and shoots down like that. You get a much better idea of how the game's actually flowing and stuff like that, and you can see line speed better. You can see, to me, you can just see everything better. I actually hate suburban grounds for watching it on telly. I'm sure it's great to go watch one. I've never been to a suburban game, but yeah, it was just Penrith just looked a bit tired to me. Like, that line speed wasn't as crisp and as fast as it normally is. It was fine, but it was just like Tigers matched it. Like, there was no point. Like, I've been so high on Fish and Moses for a really long time. In the last 4 weeks, I think we've seen them get dominated more than we have in the last 4 years. Like, it was just, Fisher Harris took a hit up. He ran up to the line, almost stopped, turned, and just sort of got tackled. I was like, what the hell was that, Fish? I literally said you're the best prop in the game 2 weeks ago. What are you doing to me, man? Didn't look right, man. It just didn't look right to me, but I don't know if there's something going on in the background. Obviously, Fishy's leaving now, but I really thought they would wind him up, and they really need that 1-2 punch, man. They really do, and yeah, I'm sure obviously Cleary will help. Best player in the comp coming back into your team will help. You know what I'm saying? But just, yeah, it didn't look right to me, eh? Like, I felt like when Lindsay Smith and Liam Henry came on, they almost looked better than Fish and Moses, and that is just ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. Yeah, man of the match for me was on Taruva as well. But yeah, it was just odd. It was just odd. Body language just wasn't quite as good as it normally is. Like, I don't know. It just, something felt a little off. And like I said, if most other teams won this game the way they won it, I wouldn't even think about it. But definitely didn't have their chests out. Didn't look, I don't know. It was just a little off. And Tigers were in it. They just lacked that little bit of polish finishing tries and stuff like that. But they were right in this, man. And like I said, they were a pass or two away from scoring 2 or 3 tries that they didn't score, sort of thing. And if they did get 3, they were right in it, sort of thing. But I mean, Dylan Edwards was good. To'o was good. I don't know. It's just weird. I can't really put my finger on it. Isaiah Yeo was beast. So good, bro. I was sitting there watching this, man. Because we got so many good locks in the game at the moment. Like, Tohu Harris is so good. Like, he would have been the best lock in the game not long ago. I mean, like, an era ago. But he's probably 5th or 6th. Like, you know what I mean? 4th, 5th or 6th. And, like, to me, there's almost such a big gap. Like, Yo, Carrigan, and then just this huge gap. And then the people that are just under that gap are, like, some of the best locks we've ever seen. Like Cam Murray, Tohu Harris, Victor Radley was so good. Stuff like that. Like, Isaiah Yeo was just an absolute monster, man. Probably should have got a try too. But yeah, just lacking a little polish there. Junior Tupou had a dodgy night with the hand. I thought Charlie Staines was awesome. Really, really good. I actually thought Brett Naden was good too. Stefano Ikamanu, like, he was, like, at the start, that first 15 minutes of the game, Ikamanu was the best prop on the game, best prop in the game for that first 20. Thought Clemmer was solid, Papalit was good, and Bateman was shredding up. That's the best I've ever seen him play. Best I can ever remember him seeing him play. Obviously, he's probably played better, but he went out to centre, out of position as well. Did a job, looked good. Thought Twali was pretty solid when he came on. Now, Dylan Edwards did come off, grabbing the back of his leg. Hopefully it's not a hammy. Because New South Wales need a fullback, and he could be the man for that job. So this is the difference between Dylan Edwards and Teddy Wright. Like, they're so similar, but they're the one difference to me, which is why I personally have Dylan Edwards being better, definitely within the last year and a half. But he's been just closing the gap real fast, years coming up to that. He'll give you that hard work that Teddy does, those 2-3 carries coming out of trouble. But when they get in good field position, he backs off. And he doesn't get in the way. As soon as you get over halfway, maybe inside the 40, he backs off. And he doesn't get in the way. And Teddy doesn't. He just keeps taking carries, keeps getting away, keeps trying to ball play, keeps doing all that stuff. I just, like, it's sometimes less is more. And that's, you know what I mean? And I mean, this is the thing. I mean, I'm just guessing, but I almost dare say that Dylan Edwards probably has more try assists, line break assists, and all that sort of stuff. Then I don't know if he does, but he still gets them just from inserting himself at the right times and stuff like that, and still racking up 200 metres, 46 post contact, line break, try assist, 10 tackle busts. I mean, he's a freak. He's an absolute freak. Brian To'o, quiet game, just a lazy 229. 82 post contact, 8 tackle busts. Do I love about Toto? He's so gangster. The amount of times he just takes carry, boom, puts through the line, wrestles, and then just dudes are flying off him. Goes to get up to play the ball, penalty, and he just tosses the ball on the ground and jogs back to the wing, just like it's nothing. And no one even, normally like when dudes do that, they're like, yeah, good carry. And Toto is so gangster and they're so used to it. Just drops the ball, runs back out to his wing like it's nothing. So good, bro. Oh, so damn good. But yeah, man, like Tigers are thereabouts. They're going to build. They're going to win game. They're going to win more games than they did last year. They look all right. Just lacking that little bit of polish in this one, but they'll ambush teams. If you show up 90%, they'll probably beat you. They're there or thereabouts. You know, there's a lot of guys playing for contracts there too, so we know they're going to stand up. Manly Titans. This is a funny one. 30-34. This was awesome. So I might try score us with this one with Tom Travojevic and Saab. 8 minutes into the game. Cashed out. I don't know what it was. $3,500 or whatever it was. Boom. I was chuck my phone down, sit back and chill, watch the game. When this happened, I was like, oh, this is going to be 40-0. But shout out to the Titans, man. They really stood up, really got into it. Yeah, I thought they looked good. Bro, I don't know what's... No, I won't say it. Desi just seems real dumb, eh? I don't know if he's like, have you seen him at interviews? Like he just... They ask him a question, he'd be like, like, bro, you've been answering these... Reporters have been asking the same 5 questions your whole career, bro, since you played. Like, how are you stumbling over your words to answer these guys, man? Blows my mind. Just credit the boys, tackle hard, kick the corners. That's all you have to say, bro. But I don't know, Desi just seems off to me, eh? But look, man, how much better is AJ at fullback? He's so much better there. I thought Pereira was pretty good. Tanner Boyd, I mean, he mucked up something. I can't remember what it was, but I remember going, oh, bro. Oh, he threw an intercept, that's right. But he was way better. He was like, I was sitting there going, man, not NRL standards. Get your butt to Super League, bro. Like, that's where you sort of belong. He ran short side, banana kicked on the inside. I think it was for Turbo. His long kicking game looked better. It looked like he was thumping his kicks better, way more confident with his running game. Again, not top 5 halves in the game. But it was solid. But yeah, it was just a real odd game. And Titans were right in this. It was a try either side of half time. One to Kohler, one to Talk. So a minute before half time and then 3 minutes after full time, boom, try. That can sting you, man. Like, if those two don't happen, like, they shouldn't happen. You shouldn't have tries like that close to either half sort of thing. So that really stung them. That really stung them. It really took the scoreboard pressure off Seagulls and put it straight back on the Titans. It was sort of like Manly had scoreboard pressure and then it was like boom. Oh, now, not only... Normally when a team scores a try or two, you know what I mean? Like, just say a try or whatever, and you're 2 ahead, you know, you can still play your own way, but it sort of went from, you know, Titans having scoreboard pressure on the Manly back to the Titans sort of thing. So that stung them. But, I mean, Turbo... I'd almost give him a shot at fullback for New South Wales too. He looks so damn good. Saab looked nice. Brooksy was okay. He threw a couple into his head. Matt Lodge, see the hairline, bro? He's been to Turkey, got his hairline sorted. Looks great. Good on you, Lodgy. You look 10 years younger, lad. Ola Kawada was brilliant. Thought Waddell was okay too. Woodsy. Yeah, not too bad. Not too bad from the Seagulls. Just leaked way too many. Like, they look good in attack, but just leaked way too many. But yeah, I thought Titans were pretty good. Like, I think some of those tries Titans scored, they would have scored against a lot of teams. AJ Brimson, I mean, where is he? Oh, I thought Dave Fafita was pretty good when he came on too. He got a try. Brim 135 metres, 35 coast contact, 1 line break. He just looked really, really dangerous. solid. Thought Aaron Clark came on, looked nice. Isaac Liu was okay, but yeah, it was just a bummer for the Titans. 0-6 now. Who do they have next week again? I bloody forgot. Warriors. Is that in New Zealand? We'll have to find out soon. We'll have a look at some of the stats. We'll see where it all went wrong. This should be 50-50 possession. I mean, they won this. They went comfortably. Just too much strike. They won the meters battle. That's good. Lost the post contact, but 4 line breaks to 5, so just down. They won the tackle breaks, 26-17. What else we got here? Tackle efficiency good. They only missed 17 tackles. That's great. 26 for the Seagulls. 11 errors each. 3 penalties conceded. Yeah. Oh, poor old Titans. I want them to get a dub. Oh, man. All right, I'm calling it now. Broncos are the best wet weather team in the comp. It's funny, I said that on my TikTok video. It's sort of weird, like when you had those really quick teams, back in the day, I'm talking 15 plus years ago, if you were one of those quick, fast teams, it's sort of, when you played when it's pouring rain like that, it'd take a lot of your stuff away because you lose your step and stuff like that. Like you can't step as good and stuff in the wet. But now it's like the big, like you still got to be fast, but it's the big, strong, athletic team. So like, you know, the guys like Cobbos and Joey Manus and the Suwali's, they really thrive in the wet now, and Broncos are stacked with them. You know what I mean? You got Ricky, you got, you know, all these guys, big, strong, fast, athletic, Tony Staggs, you know, Jesse Arthurs. Those guys thrive in the wet, man, and they've got a team stacked with them. Like, they didn't even have, can you imagine if they had bloody Reynolds kicking game in this? Just terrorising, you know, the Raiders. Well, he already got terrorised. Chevy Stewart got absolutely pumped. I got a bit of fluff on my, I was wondering what was itching my nose, and then I saw a little bit of fluff on my nose. Yeah, poor old Chevy Stewart, man. He got absolutely folded in this game. And I was about to say I lost respect for him. I didn't lose respect for him, but I was, you know, I was like, damn, I haven't seen a fullback carry the ball back like that in a while. But obviously Carmichael Hunt, you know, I grew up watching, and he used to get folded. And Chevy Stewart got absolutely folded by Hetherington and Jordan Ricky. And I was like, all right, I've got mad respect for this dude if he runs it back just as hard in his next carry. And he didn't. I was like, oh. You've been, you know, when you're winning the contact, you run hard, but when you lose it, you go into your shell. Come on, man. Having said that, his confidence must have been shot. He got absolutely peppered, and yeah. But no, like the Broncos, man, in the wet, like I'm telling you now, if Broncos are playing in the wet now, I'm taking them 13 plus, and I don't care if it's against Penrith. Yeah, their style of play, like I said, it's just those big, strong, athletic guys. They're just so good in the wet. Matt, when they get Piakura and Payne Haas back in the wet, Reynolds kicking the ball, yeah, they're gonna be close to impossible to beat in the wet. They look really, really nice, sort of thing. So. Reece, tons of errors early, but yeah, so Raiders, similar to the Parramatta Eels and the, who did we say before, the Tigers and stuff like that, Warriors, had tons of field possession early, didn't do anything with it, you know, it was bad, they just couldn't get over try. Like I think I said in my video last week, Raiders they're really bad at attacking inside the 20. Like when they get a penalty or whatever, they need to kick the ball back to the 40, 50 metre line and run a play for Tomoko or something, because that's where they're dangerous, man. They're dangerous from almost half court. I've been loving the NBA playoffs at the moment. So from about halfway, they look so much more dangerous from there. Like Schiller and Savage and Sebastian Chris Tomoko, just lighten it up, give them space on the edge, early ball. They look dangerous. It looks like they don't know what to do inside their 20. But they're fine. They're going to be just fine. Like they're way better than we thought they were going to be. They're way ahead of schedule. They look great. But yeah, it was just one of those ones where they didn't take advantage of. And then Broncos is, once you lose momentum, once you get momentum, you have to come away with points, because the thing with NRL is you you can not get the ball in good position for 20 minutes, which is a quarter of a game. like you can genuinely not be in attacking position for 20 minutes. Like a team can pin you, score a try, you kick to them, you give a penalty, pin you, score a try, blah blah. And you look up, you're like, we've been tackling for 18 minutes. It's bad. So you have to come away with enough points when you're in the 20, when you've got a big block of possession, because the other team's going to get it, and it's very hard to wrestle it back. Doesn't matter how good you are. If another team's on a roll and just the ball's bouncing their way and they're playing smart and keeping you in that corner, yeah, you can not have another attacking position. Let that sink in for a second. It's very common that you do not get a good attacking position for 20 minutes, a quarter of a game. So yeah, you have to capitalise when you have it, and that's my only issue with Raiders at the moment. When they do get those blocks, they really struggle to score inside their 20. They can score from anywhere except inside the 20, which is the one spot you should be able to score. But I think they'll be just fine. They're going to win plenty of games this year. Just need to sort that out. So, yeah. And shout out to the Broncos fans too, man. It was pissing down rain and there was still had a bunch of people there. So, absolutely killed it. Paddy Carrigan, just like I said, if you want to sit here and argue with me that he's better than Isaiah Yeo, I have Yeo being a bit better, but I'm not going to argue with you, bro. He's on that level, man. He's on that level. And Xavier Wilson, man, he looked real nice in the wet. I know he didn't do anything crazy in this game, didn't score a try or anything, but this, to me, a little bit of a hybrid of Payne, Haas and Tino. Probably more Tino than Payne. Nice. Even a Tarpany, a bit more of a Tino Tarpany style player. Imagine that. You've got a Tino and a Payne Haas in the same team. That's unfair. He's coming along nice. He looks real good. Kobe Hetherington, best I've seen him play. He's a real good wet weather footy player. Yeah, great. Broncos are looking sharp. Real sharp. Now, next game, Doggies Knights, guys. We had a big win on this one, guys. We had Bradman Best and Addo Carr as singles and as multi as well. Had 1,000 down on each one, so that was juicy. I didn't watch this game, bros. I was listening to it on the radio, and I watched the mini short thing, so I can't comment too much on this one, guys. We'll just have a quick look at some team stats and stuff like that. But one thing I want to say about the Doggies is, which is the complete opposite of the Knights, so this sort of segues good. A lot of us were bagging a lot of Serraldo's choices, team selections at the start, but he stuck with it, and they got better and better and better. Only a little bit better, but a little bit better, and all of a sudden they're whooping the Knights. Whereas the Knights are swapping halves in and out, changing this, changing that every other week. Like fully fit players dropping. So it just goes to show, like, Serraldo done a much better job of coaching his squad than the Knights. And yeah, just showing the faith in the team he thought that he selected. I know there's obviously been forced changes, but he just kept Hutcho in. And Hutcho, like, everyone's been bagging Hutcho. I think he's got better and better every game. He was awful the first 2 rounds, and he stuck with him. So yeah, I thought it seems like that's working, and I really like what he's done as well with putting Crichton on the right edge, not making their left edge too top heavy. Good. I like what the Doggies are doing. Few cattle short to challenge top 4, in my opinion, I'd say, but we all said that about the Warriors last year too, so you never know. Callum Ponga went down in this one. I'm not too sure what happened. If you can let me know in the comments, guys, that would be awesome. Like I said, I was just on the radio. I listened to it on the radio. But yeah, absolute domination. But I actually caught the last 5 minutes, and Reid Marnie just pisses me off. There's not many players that just piss me off, and the reason he pisses me off is, number one, I hate when little dudes get in big dudes' faces now because you can't get cracked anymore. But the thing is, I don't mind guys that niggle and are like that. Like, I love JWH. But the thing is, he keeps the same energy, winning, losing, up, down, finals, round 1, round 9, whatever. Reid Marnie only niggles and stuff like that when they've got a comfortable lead. It just pisses me off. It's sort of like taunting. I'm like, bro, you weren't doing that when you were getting pumped by 60 last year. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know, man. It just gets under my skin. It bugs me, man. Like, it just bugs me. I've got no problem with players doing that. You can keep the same energy when you're winning or when you're losing, man. You know, you can't just be niggling dudes going, ha ha, see you, you know, doing all that when you got a lead. You got to, you know, what did Michael Jordan say? It's easy to talk trash when you're up, man. Let's do it when it's 0-0 or do it when you're down, you know. So, maybe they're just... Yeah, maybe I'm a huge MJ fan, so that just rubbed me the wrong way. But he just only seems to do it when they're winning. Anyway, let's have a look at some team stats, guys. So how'd that go? So 53% of the ball, almost 3-4 minutes more in possession. Still not great with the ball. I don't know if they just chanced their arm a bit too much at the end and this made it look bad. Like I said, I didn't watch it, guys. Won the run meters, but still very low. Post contact's okay. 7 line breaks, that'll do. 20 tackle breaks, a bit low for guys like Kickoff and Karaz in your team. Slow play the ball too, jeez. Maybe the ref just let him hold him down though. Mightn't have been the doggies' fault. 9 offloads to 11. Tackle efficiency. I mean, it's only 34 missed tackles, but they only made 300, so 84% is a bit of a low number. And Knights are actually pretty good tackling. 14 errors. Jesus Christ. That'll do it. It's 6 penalties to 2. So it wasn't all perfect for the doggies. We'll have a look at some of these stats. I don't know how Connor Tracy did. I love him, eh? Love Connor Tracy. Oh, look at that. 151 metres, 37 post contact, 2 line break assists, 2 try assists. Jesus Christ, he's a gun. Joe Karaz, 2 line breaks, 189 metres. So, nothing crazy other than Tracy. Josh Curran, 127 in the middle. Damn. Philly Army. What did the Knights do? Kalen Ponga. Bloody had him, capped him as my super coach team. He went off. Greg Marju. Let me know too, guys. Did Greg Marju play on the left or the right? Let me know. Bradman Best had a line break and scored that try. So good, man. I had Addo Carr and Bradman Best to score, and I was sitting there going, oh, man. Because I haven't, this is the thing, I seen a dude at the footy today, and he's like, how you going on the punt this year? I'm like, bro, I just can't get any consistency. Like last year before, when I was doing all this stuff, it was sort of like, everyone loses. We go on little skids even where you do miss out on a day or whatever, and you have 3 punts down, you miss all 3. But I just can't get any rhythm, because normally you lose one, you win 3 or 4 or 5 in a row, and then you lose 2 or 3 or 4 in a row, and then you win 4 or 5 in a row. Just win 2, lose 2. Oh, it's pissing me off, man. But I was the same thing. I was just before, I was sitting there going, man, I just can't get any rhythm. You know what I mean? Like in this punting this year, like I'm just winning 1, losing 1, winning 2, losing 2. You know, it's just I haven't gone on a nice streak yet. And then Bradman Best just, I was like, oh sweet, hell yeah. Knights are in big trouble, man. Big trouble. I'm really close to crossing them off, making the 8 already. If they didn't go on that run last year, and if Kalen Pong, I would have written them off, but they look awful, man. Sharkies, Cows. This game right here was about as perfect as you can play a game of rugby league from the Sharkies. Like, perfect. It was the first 65 minutes was perfect. When Val Holmes scored 62. The first 61 minutes of this game were perfect. Like, I think they'd made 1 error. Nico Hines didn't miss. It was just every decision they made was perfect. It was perfect game of rugby league from the Sharks. And the funny thing is, like, Cows fell apart a little bit toward the end, but Cows weren't horrendous. They weren't great, but they weren't horrendous. It was just Sharkies were just perfect, man. Like, did everything right. And tries to Will Kennedy, Hazelton, Stone Street on debut, Trendle for 2, Mulatalo for 2. We hit in this one too. We had Mulatalo for 1, Val Holmes for 6 points, and he literally scored a try and thing, so it was a lucky one, but we still hit it. But yeah, it was just... It was perfect. And then the last 20 minutes, or 18 minutes, whatever, wasn't bad. Like, not like they fell away or anything, it just wasn't perfect. They were still the better team in the final 20 minutes. But it wasn't perfect. But this game from start to finish was as close to a perfect performance I've seen against a good team, start to finish from the Sharkies. And I think we've slept on them, man. I think they're right up there. I think they look genuine top 4 contenders. If they stay healthy, they should finish in the top 4. They are good. They have depth everywhere. Scary, scary team. Scary, scary team, especially at home. And look at that, Nico Hines just slaughtering it. For me, when Tuolangi is back, Valemei has to come in for Felt. I know Felt, I love you, bro. You've done your thing. I know you're a North Queensland legend. Valemei's better than you, bro. He's just better at rugby league than you now, bro. Father Time's undefeated, and it's time for Valemei. He's a Mack truck. He'll finish tries. He runs like a bloody Mack truck. He's a beast. Tommy Dearden was decent towards the end, but couldn't do much. Chad Townsend just awful. McLean was good. Bruce Robertson's defense. No one here was horrible. Ruben Cotter is the one player who can definitely keep his chin up, raise his head high, chest out. He was enormous. It was funny at the start of this game. I was like, I don't know if Ruben Cotter's as good as he was last year, eh? And then he just showed the Snag who's boss and absolutely killed it. But yeah, it was just the Cowboys got to sort out this home record, man. Like, they're just so bad away from home. They'll be praying. I think they've got Panthers next week at home. So they're playing the Panthers, which is bad, but at least you got them at home. But yeah, they're in a dilemma. I said it last week, so I'm not going to harp on it, but I do feel like they're just like McLean, solid as. Like, McLean's a guy you want in your team if you've got a Payne Haas, a Tino, a Tarpany, even a Moses. If you've got like a genuine, state of origin, Kiwi, even, you know what I mean? Like, whatever. And then you got McLean as your number 2. Perfect. You got the guy that gets through the work. He's not going to make mistakes. He's not going to miss tackles. Just so good. Doesn't get the accolades he should. And then you got that other guy, but it's just Taumalolo. His first stint was 14 or 15 minutes, and it was fine. Like, it was a good 15 minutes. But then Neem sort of comes on, really good, but just nothing crazy. Yeah, it was just not enough. They're just lacking a little something. They're just a little bit off the pace. Like I said, it's weird. They got pumped, but I wasn't like, oh man, Cowboys are awful in this game. They weren't that bad. It was just, and I don't think they're far off, but they just look like a team hovering around. They look like a team that's just in that from 8th to 10th, going to be fighting for a spot to make the top 8. But they've got a good enough roster, good enough people there, a really good coach, a really good home ground advantage. They can make the top 8 still, obviously. They're a tinker or two away. Maybe that tinker is just getting Felt out there. You get Tuolangi back, Valemei back. That takes heaps of pressure off Drinky. Getting meters coming back. Just piston through the middle there to get their set started. That way it gives Jordan McLean and Taumalolo less work to do in offense. Maybe it's that. Yeah. I mean, like Drinky, it's just like his kicking game, beautiful. His ball playing, beautiful, but don't get much else out of him. You're not getting the meters, you're not getting tackle bust, you're not getting, I'm not bagging him. He's literally one of my favourite players, but just a little off. I mean, let's have a look at some of these meters compared to the back 5 of the Cowboys. All right, so we'll line these up. So we've got Sharks don't even have their full strength back line. Will Kennedy 139. They're not that high. They're not as high as I would have thought. 139, 133, 170, 148. So let's have a look what the Cowboys did. It didn't feel like they did much, but maybe they did because they were coming out of trouble so much. Oh, they're actually better. There you go. Obviously, they would have been getting kicked in corners and taking more carries, of course, and they were getting so much good field position. Sharkies couldn't make as many carries, but it's like it's 2 line break assists. He's so good. I think he needs to be used better. Val Holmes was okay. Yeah, Chad. If Cowboys genuinely want to be top 4 and contender, Chad has to have his best season. Like, Chad can't be playing okay, bad game. Oh, that was pretty good for Chad. Bad game. You know, he needs to be week in, week out. Solid. Just, you know, look at Reynolds. Reynolds is aging, his body's falling apart, blah, 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 blah. He just still gets the boys around the park. His kicking game's on point, you know, stuff like that. So, yeah, we'll have to wait and see about the Cows. They're, the thing is, they're fine. Like, they're actually on the ladder, they're fine. Like, they're sitting up there in 8th. They're 4-3. Like, that's fine. This is the thing. They haven't played their best footy, and they're still sitting in a pretty good position. So it's not panic stations at all for the Cowboys. They look good in patches. They've just got to sort it out because, look, man, Dragons, Warriors, Roosters, Bulldogs, man, dare I say even like Parramatta West Tigers could go on runs, and all of a sudden you're sitting where, you know, like Parramatta or the Knights are going, what the hell happened? We're sitting third 5 weeks ago, you know, like it can happen fast. It can happen real fast. So Cowboys, and they're going to lose a lot of players over Origin. This is the thing too, man. You know, Drinky could even get called up. You know, Val Holmes gone, Dearden gone. Who else? Ruben Cotter gone, Nanai gone. You know, they're going to lose 4 or 5 players over Origin. So yeah, they got to start banking more. They got to get a few more wins under their belt because they're probably going to lose some players over that time as well. So we'll have a look at some of the team stats and we'll wrap it up, lads. All right, 54%. Jesus Christ, 46. Nearly 4 full minutes in possession. 87%. This was in the high 90s right until the end of the game, where the Sharkies fell apart. 1,600 metres to 1,300. Post contact, 5. That's a hiding. You know, 511 to 82 to 382. 4 line breaks to 3. Not a hiding there. But yeah, they were definitely getting beaten in the ruck. Offloads 11 to 7. What else we got? 8 errors to 12. I mean, 8, like I said, if you can keep that under 10, you're good. 12's not horrendous, but it's not good enough. Yeah, 30 missed tackles to 33. Yeah, well, yeah, I think, like I said, I think we've slept on the Sharkies. I think they're better than we thought, and I think Cowboys, they're okay. They're not panic stations, but they definitely got to work some things out. Chad, pull your finger out. Stop trying to do YouTube videos. Leave that to me, bruh. You do your YouTube videos when you're retired, lad. Focus all your energy into the Cowboys because they need you. They need you, lad. Well, let's have a look at next week's game and wrap this thing up, eh? Oh, Thursday night, Warriors versus the Titans. Oh, man. Both teams really need a win, to be honest. I mean, Warriors, they're sitting in 10th, you know. They want to finish in the top 4. If you want to be a genuine threat, you got to be in the top 4, man. 7th or 8th isn't good enough. Dragons versus the Roosters. That's just going to be a cracking game. Absolutely cracking game. Storm taking on the Bunnies off the bye. Seagulls taking on Parramatta. Ooh, Seagulls. Look at how short they are. Parramatta were favourites last time they played 4 rounds ago. How quick the NRL changes, bros. Broncos into the West Tigers at Leichhardt, is it? Campbelltown Sports Stadium, Sydney. Cowboys hosting the Panthers, and I think Cleary's going to be back for that one too. Dolphins versus the Knights. Jesus Christ, Dolphins firm favourites. I might jump on that now before they announce Ponga's definitely out. Wow, look at that. Sharkies paying $1.35 against the Raiders. That's nuts. And Doggies get a bye. So look at that. They have a win. They get a bye. Doggies going to be damn near the 8. So they can get definite 2 points. Oh, no, they won't be in the 8 because there's teams that are already on the 8. But how's their for and against? Plus 17. So, yeah, Doggies could... No, they're probably going to stay about the same. It should be a good one. Should be a good one, the Raiders versus Sharkies. Excited. It's going to be a good one, man. It's going to be tough to pick an 8 from 8 around here. What would I go? I'll probably go Wars. Probably almost take the Dragons. Storm. Seagulls. Broncos. Panthers. Dolphs. Sharks. Not that hard. We'll go 7 from 8 this round. We'll get one wrong, I reckon. All right, lads, that's it. Thank you all so much for watching, guys, and I'll see you on the next one.